Hi, FlossTube Stitchers. We had some models come in a few days before the tour started, and we were thrilled to get them because they were from Carol Leonard, our monthly queen. So we have, among other things, we have 2 sets of monthlies from different designers. And due to space and time today, I'm just going to show you the Octobers, and I'll show you the rest of them along the way. So this is from Bent Creek's Snapper series, which I believe might have been the first time they introduced snaps into their charts. So they called all of these series various versions of Snap, Snappers, Snapperville, Snapperland, because they used snaps instead of buttons or charms. And this is a very cute series that rhymes. We have another model from a different stitcher that has all of these stitched on the same piece of fabric. And so it goes January, February, March, so 3 by 3, and the 3 in a row rhyme. So when you get to this part, it's October curls, November twirls, think of leaves, and December swirls, and that would be smoke coming out of the chimney. So anyway, we've enjoyed the other model for quite a while, and it'll be fun to see how people react to the months done individually, because you can pop them in and out of the same frame. And people did respond. We had this one and the next series right next to each other in a different place where I had moved some things. And so whenever you move models, people notice. The second set that we got from Carol was from Primrose Cottage Stitchers, and this is a newer series, newer than the Bent Creek, I should say. And this is their 9-patch monthly series, so this is October. And it was easy to show the Octobers because these were the 2 we had in the frames, and the rest of them are just in the plastic bags. Then, sadly, the next model I'm going to show you can't stay at the shop because we ran out of the chart, and that's my bad for not stitching these faster. But I was very much in love with the Lizzy Kate Tiny Tidings series of Christmas designs. And actually, along the way, I found out that I had stitched this twice. I can't remember if this is the first one or the second one, but I found another one. The other one might have been on green fabric. But I decided I would finish them in 2 completely different ways. And I showed this to my framer, and we decided to go with the bright red frame and the black fillet. And so since I found something so quickly for this, I thought I'm going to go with the contemporary style and then do some other type of alternative finish with the second one. Maybe I'll give it away as a gift. Maybe I'll use it as a door prize. We'll see what happens. But you can still get these charts from 123 Stitch. That's who owns the rights to republish Lizzy Kate designs now. So it was Tiny Tidings 17, published in 2012. And there's some little buttons on it. And I love the, what do you call that type of lettering where it's all different? It kind of looks like a ransom note. I forget what you call that kind of lettering, but I just thought that was really cute, and the colors are bright, and I don't normally do things that bright for Christmas, but it just really fits this design. We have some other models featured at the front of our store right now. They're not new, but their ribbons are new. So I'm going to insert a video here of the ribbons that Bonnie and I received at the recent needle art show sponsored by the Medina Needlework Guild. If you watched last week's video and don't really want to see these again, you can scroll through maybe about 3.5 or 4 minutes to catch up with the rest of the video. I did want to say one thing that I forgot when I was making the video, and that's the judge's comment about sewing buttons on. And I didn't do a close-up, so maybe another time I'll show you one of the models. But they commented on a few. I think they only took like 1 point off because obviously she still got blue ribbons. But they took 1 point off because the buttons weren't sewn on identically, meaning the threads. So I think she wanted them to either all go up and down or all go sideways. And Bonnie put her little flower buttons on at various angles. And so did I on my bee piece, but maybe they didn't say anything about mine because it did kind of look like the bees were flying in different directions. But we just thought that was a really interesting comment because we both decided independently of each other that we like sewing buttons on at different angles for creative interest. We'd never talked about it before, but after the show and after reviewing our comments, we both said the same thing, but we do that on purpose. So it was just a little comment from the judge that was valid. It was her opinion, but we were doing it on purpose. The other thing they noticed was that she had forgotten one of the beaks, which is just 2 little tiny back stitches, on the crow, the middle crow, I think, on my Honey of a Tiny Town. Now, she worked on it. She showed it to me several times while it was being stitched. I helped her pick out the framing, and in all that time, neither one of us noticed that she had forgotten the beak. But that's how closely the judges were looking at the pieces. So anyway, just a little tidbit about the show. Okay, enjoy or scroll through. Once again, our custom framer, Bonnie Saffron of Valley Framing, was quite surprised that she had received ribbons. I'm never surprised. So I'm going to show you the 4 pieces that she entered this year. This is all bundled up by With Thy Needle and Thread. And she added the Bee Company wood buttons. That was not shown in the chart. And then the other snowman is Welcome Winter from Filigrim. And she also won a technical excellence for this in addition to the first. I don't know what iMovie's gonna do with this, so I'll do a wider shot so you can see the whole thing. This was easier than me taking down the display. And then she did Heart and Hand Needle Art's Christmas Tiny Town. And I've shown this to you before because I believe she stitched it last year or framed it earlier this year. It's a very interesting fabric. I don't know if she had remembered what she did it on. It kind of looks like it might be ancient, but it might be a little bit darker. But I know that since COVID started, she's been in a few Fabric of the Month clubs from different dyers, so it could also just be something from her stash. And then I'm gonna flip down here to show you her 4th piece, and this is Honey of a Tiny Town, which I know I've shown you because this was my birthday present. And this was done on Dirty Chai 32 count linen from Grace Notes, which should be released, I think, sometime next month. It was also a Fabric of the Month, and they release their fabrics every 6 months after a Fabric of the Month club. Those are some of my bee pieces behind it. I thought that made a nice display since they're all technically mine. The ribbon's hers, but the piece is mine. All right, back up to the second shelf. And these are 3 of my pieces. These 2 I entered this year in the show. The one on the left is Be Happy by Cottage Garden Samplings. That's done on 36 count linen with 1 strand. All of Bonnie's, by the way, were 32 count with 1 strand. And then this is Little House Needleworks Bee Sampler. And that's Sarah 32 count Lugana from Grace Notes. I think that's just the prettiest green for spring. And I was really pleased to get the technical excellence as well, because I had just been to a program by one of the judges about a week prior to the event. And after hearing straight from the judge what they look for and how picky they are, I'm like, okay. When I was deciding what to enter, I thought, you know, I stitched these two pieces during a relatively stress-free time this year, and so those might be the best pieces to enter. And I was right. Again, I'll do a wider shot because I'm really not sure how this is going to work in iMovie. All right, then my current stitching. I actually worked on 3 different things this week, but one of them I left on the coffee table. So I will show that to you next time. So I'm still working on Autumn Quaker by Primrose Cottage, and I'm using Autumn Breeze Belle Soie from Classic Colorworks. I'll put that at the top. And I'm not really sure how close it matches the pumpkin pie called for color and cotton thread, because the fabric doesn't look true to color on the front, so the thread probably isn't either. But I'm really pleased with it. I was looking for something that had more golden tones along with the pumpkin. So that's how much I've gotten done so far. Probably would have gotten a little more done, but I had previously been working on a free chart, the Stone Street Stitchworks that I showed you last time. And I'm not going to show you the chart side of this, but so that chart was presented in this fashion. So that's what I had hanging on my chart clip that's on my lamp. And so when I went to change to this one, I don't know why this chart is this way on the inside. And I paid no attention to it, and I put it on my chart clip the same way the piece of paper was that I had just taken off. And so of course it was sideways, and I wouldn't have had it. I thought, well, I could keep going because, you know, no, I couldn't. What was I thinking? So luckily I didn't keep on going. I thought it through, but I would have run out of room. Plus my top stitch wouldn't have been going in the same direction of the 2 areas. So I had to frog. Good thing frogging is quicker. It's not like it takes as much time to frog as it does to stitch in the first place, but it's still annoying. So that's how much I got done there. I'm playing a little thread chicken on this. I mean, you could see that I still had a fair amount of the skein left, but I neglected to consider the fact that I was working on 25 count with 2 strands when I decided that 1 skein of silk was going to be enough. So I'm moving around on the chart a little bit, leaving some smaller areas free for the second skein if I need it, if the die lot doesn't match. So I'm like, yeah, I did the math, but I forgot that it was 25 count. Plus, we don't actually know how much of the second skein of color and cotton the designers used when they stitched it. You know, they said by 2 skeins, but we don't know if they used every inch of the 2 skeins. Plus, those are 8 yards instead of 5. Okay, so I had been waiting for this to come in, and it was on back order, so I had to keep trying to reorder it, and it finally came, and I was just so excited to start it. And I figured, well, this comes before turkeys, so my turkeys can sit on the back burner for a little bit. But I love everything about this. And when I was looking at colors, I wanted something that matched the front. I don't know if you can tell, but that's not actually stitched, that's computer generated. And they call for, or they suggest light mocha Belfast. And light mocha is not this saturated a color. It's a little bit duller and lighter than this. So I really wanted something where the white would pop. And I decided I wanted to look through some of my newer fabrics that have come in. Vintage Country Mocha is a really good match to this, but I've stitched on that multiple times, so I decided to look through my hand dyes, and I found Bestitch Me Peanut. And I had ordered it for no particular reason, just because it looked pretty on the website. So I had ordered it in 18 count Aida and 36 linen. So I chose the 18, and I have enough to cut a couple more pieces because it was a half yard to start with, and I have a half a yard of the 36 as well. So if you don't already own this chart and you would like to join me stitching it, tell me something you like about pumpkins, and then I'll pick a winner who will get the chart and a piece of fabric. So if you don't want to work on 18 or 36, I can give you any count of the Vintage Country Mocha. And I will show you just as an example. I just grabbed 27 Linda. So some of the Vintage Country Mocha looks more like the peanut. It has a little more orangey cast, and some of it is a little more tan than orange. They're close, but each count comes in a little bit different. So whoever the random number generator chooses, I'll let them pick the count, and then if you want to see the color, I can send you a picture or something. So we'll deal with that later. So anyway, tell me something you like about pumpkins. All right, so that was my stitching. And we will, I don't know where I'm going to put this. I didn't think this through. All right, this is going to go on the floor. All righty. And here I'm going to insert a video I did of some fabrics from the Atomic Ranch trunk show. And I don't want to repeat myself, but I'm not showing you every color. A lot of the colors that came in the trunk show we have had previously. So I've already shown them to you in other videos. So this will be a selected group of fabric colors. And during the video, I do remember talking a little bit about the different off-whites. And I had not matched them up to colors, and actually it's really hard. It's hard to match those light colors up because they came out differently in the different counts of fabric that we had, which hopefully you'll be able to see in the video. And when I pulled out maybe the 6 off-whites kind of going into a pale yellow that I wanted to talk about, some of them are so close. So starting with the bright white, then there's regular white, then there's 3865, and then I think it's 712 ecru and 746. So if I said anything in the video about them looking slightly yellow, it's probably the one on this end, and the antique white is probably more like the 3865 and the 712, possibly even partway in between. But if you have questions about individual counts of fabric, you know, I can tell you about it later and actually match it up, you know, more clearly with the count of fabric that you're asking. Some of them, we had a lot left, and you can see as I pan through it that they're kind of different dye lots. They could have been done at different times, or it could just be the fabric content that's doing that. So anyway, I said I was going to try to match them up to floss, but it got tedious. So that's that. So I'll put that video here. Enjoy. I thought I would show you the limited edition colors that we got in the Atomic Ranch Fabrics trunk show, and also some colors that we have never had before. We still have many more colors in various counts left over from the week of the tour, but these are ones that I've never shown you. So I'm going to start with the limited edition, and then I'm doing them in alphabetical order, and then I'll tell you what counts I have them in. So the limited edition, some of them look like the numbers are dates and others are not, because if they end in 93, this company was not in business then. So I'll just go closer so you can get the number. If you want this beautiful green in 14 count or 32 Lugana, the number is 122193. This, we have one piece of 14 count, 070723. And 52081. We have, it looks like 4 left in 36 count. All right, now I'll move over to the second row. This one, 110622, is 36 count linen. I guess I'm getting a little bit of a shadow from the iPad, but I actually think these colors are showing up pretty true. The next one is also 36, and the number is 061892. That one is paler in person. This next one is also lighter, very pretty, but lighter in person, 43023, and I have it in 36 count. And the last color is a cool color for maybe Halloween or fall or even Christmas things, because it has a little bit of a greenish goldish vibe. And it is number 21224, and I have only 36 count. Then I have 42923, one piece in 40 count, 51522, one piece in 40, 61023, another piece in 40, and then here starts the color names. This is antique white, and I have it left in 28, 32, and 40 linens. You can see that they look a little different. The 28 linen is the darkest, and I may look up a DMC number for some of these lighter colors. It's not as pure white as it looks on the bottom. It is more like an true antique white in the solid colors, but I'll match it up to a DMC number. Then we have one piece of 28 count Bayou. Blue Ridge is really pretty, and we have 32 Lugana and 40 count linen. Clouds, we only got one piece in 36 count. Dreamsicle, we only have one 28 count linen, and that is, it looks like a kind of a tomatoey red in this picture, but it is more neon. Then we have my favorite, light denim, in 28 count and 46. Mellowstone, we have multiple pieces in 32 and 40. Looks like maybe they were dyed in different batches. Then Moonstone, we have a 36. And Nutmeg, we have a 14 Ada. That actually looks very true to life right there. Then we have Parchment, which is creamier than the Mellowstone or the Antique White, and we have it in 32 Lugana and 36 and 40 linens. Oxygen, the 28 linen is much lighter and not as mottled, but we also have it in 40. Sweet William, we got one piece in 40 and nobody has snatched it up yet. It's a little bit lighter in person. And if you want any more information about these, please let me know. If you want me to match any of them up to a DMC number or something else. It was just too time consuming to do it for this video. In T rows, I have 136 count and 140 count. Tombstone, we only got one in 40 count. I'm really surprised that wasn't snatched up. That is darker than that limited edition I showed you earlier. Wild Mint, I have a couple pieces in 40 count, and I believe that is going to be one of the automatic colors for next year. One in Willow. It's both of those, Wild Mint and Willow, are much prettier in person. They look kind of grayed out in this picture. Then I have Vanilla Cream, and this is lighter than Parchment, but darker than Antique White. Multiple pieces of that. I believe this also is going to be a fabric of the month next year, and I have it in 14 and 16 Aida, 28 and 32 Lugana, and then 28 and 32 Linen. And the last color is Weathered Stone, and that has some green splotches going through it. Some counts are darker than others, and I have 16 Aida and all of the rest in Linen. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please let me know if you want to buy any of these, or if you want to inquire what is left of the other colors that we received. And now for the new chart part of the video. We had an automatic from Amy Brecken, and we got 7 and 8 in the Jingle All the Way series, $10 each, and they include any embellishments that are shown. Chessie and me had 2 new ones, Be Scary Pin Pillow. I love how she puts the specialty stitches in for interest. Harvest Housewife. And that's what the other side will look like when you're done. Cast a Spell by Cottage Garden Samplings. These I Hold Dear is a new chart from Little House Needleworks, but the individual designs were like freebies or the second design in her Dear Diary series, which has been discontinued. So she decided to reprint these into one chart. Can you hear the rain? Can you hear that rain? It's very distracting to me. All right, Madame Chantilly. I might have shown you some of her new Halloween ones last time, but these were ones that had been on back order, I think. So this is a Cup of Halloween. Autumn Essentials. You may have also seen some of these in my collages for the Needlework Marketplace in August. This is Halloween Party. Santa and the Gingerbreads. Then from the Mindful Needle, from her It's a Date series, December 25th. And then this is a cute little poem, Ghosts Will Rise. 2 more from New York Dreamer that I think they also, I'm pretty sure they also came out at the Marketplace, because I remember possibly thinking of using these in collages. Can't remember if I did or not. Home is Where the Fabric and Floss Are. And Laundry, The Never-Ending Cycle. Praiseworthy Stitches. I think Pumpkin Potion is the second in the Little Wee Haunting series. Stitching with the Housewives automatic included All is Calm. Gingerbread, which is the same size as the kitty corn, so you can use the same display piece. And Monthly Weigh-In for December. Sweet Wing Studio, A Little Autumn. I think this was out of stock too, and I had to wait for that. And Petite Witch from Tra La La. And then Words to Live By Halloween edition from Sambry Stitches, and I have the Christmas one also coming. So those were the new charts in the last week or so. And then the winner from 2 weeks ago for the Mosey and Me Scarecrow kit is Lori Turner. And right now I forget her comment about the designers. I was taking notes and I was going to read off the list of designers that people have met, but they totaled more than 50. So if you want to see who other people have met, go back and read the comments. But we're a lucky group of Stitchers, aren't we? We have really met a lot of nice, talented, sweet designers along the way. So that was very fun to read, but too long to repeat for the rest of the audience. So go back and read those if you're interested. And I think that's everything on my list. I will be back next week with more new shop models because I have too many to show today. And then I'm also going to show you the My Big Toe accessory show, some close-up pictures and some sets that are available. So I'll highlight that trunk show next time because I have that until like mid-November. So, okay, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.